This is Walter Holland. Came to Fayetteville around 1855 with his wife Maud. They were a wealthy, aristocratic family here in Fayetteville, the first Hollands in Fayetteville. This is the house they built around 1860 on Mountain Ord. This is College Avenue in the early days when great-grandfather Walter owned the entire College Avenue. But he had thoughts of developing it at that time into a business thoroughfare. Gradually, he did develop it. You can see more houses growing on either side, more traffic down College Avenue. Still many trees. This is in the late 1800s. This is around the turn of the century when the College Avenue became more of a promenade for the well-to-do, most of them being Hollands. And they were one of the Hollands that had one of the first cars in town. They housed it in their barn. This is a outing they had there on Buffalo River. And this is looking out from Mount Sequoia out west, where farmland was mostly farmland out there, and most of it belonged to the Hollands. Fayetteville was just a village at that time. This is one of their boats there they had on Beaver Lake. This is Marble Falls. 75, 80 years ago, Marble Falls had quite a bit more water. This is one of the Hollands ranches out on West 16. This is Butterfield Trail. This is a train from St. Paul to Fayetteville to St. Paul. And naturally the Hollands were all on it. Wherever there was anything going on, they wanted to be there. And this is the Holland Family Reunion around 1905. By that time, most of Fayetteville was Hollands. And more kept coming, more being born all the time. This is some of the engineers, the Holland engineers that built Devil's Den. And of course, they put in businesses up and down College Avenue. This is one of the first restaurants on College Avenue. And they put in a law office. Naturally, they had some of the first cars. And it's one of the beautiful old homes that the Hollands owned there on College Avenue. This is a group of engineers that built the Holland engineers that built one of the first bridges to span Clear Creek out around Johnson. Regretfully, they built it about 35 feet too short. This may have I think this is the beginning of the end for the Hollands. But this one, Alice Roosevelt visited Fayetteville and stayed down at the Mountain Inn Hotel. And the Hollands all entertained her. And the women were, and men both, but the women were in high society here in Fayetteville. And the men were gentlemen, hunters, farmers, the leisure class. One of them rode with Teddy at the Battle of Bull Run. This is the first jockey club at Hot Springs. And Holland women were artistic musicians, refined women. The children became more and more refined. They traveled widely. But gradually, because there were so many Hollands in Fayetteville, they began to be more and more cousins marrying cousins, second cousins marrying third cousins. the family began to sort of mentally deteriorate. They become more eccentric. The offspring of some of these cousin marriages were shown here. This is little Bud Holland. He was captured by a group of Indians that came over the border from the Oklahoma Territory and raised him as a half-breed. And this is, as the family began to deteriorate, they hung around on Dixon Street down at Rogers Recreation Hall, drank beer, smoked, just came good for nothings. And their mansions began to fall in. Their cars breaking down. Their whole family was in a state of deterioration. And by the 1920s, they were living in poor surroundings. Very few of them were doing well. It seems that the gods had sent the worst to the Hollands at that point. They were living in tenement houses. Women had to go back to doing their own housework. One of the Hollands had a little grocery store out at Savoy. But there was grandeur in Fayetteville in the form of the old Ozark Theater here around 1930 or so. Artists came to Fayetteville, modern dance. Some of the Hollands had to pose for art classes to get money at the university here. 25 cents an hour, I think. Did fishing for their food. This is a hotel there at Montenay that Cohen Harvey built. But still, some of the Hollands wanted to remain in the leisure class, a do-nothing class. They were dandies. One became sheriff of Washington County, but America was never to smile down on the Hollands again. The natives said it was because they came to Fayetteville, cut down all the trees, paved College, put up neon signs. There was one tree left in 1940 on College Avenue. But old Dan Holland says, I'm going to cut that tree and any other tree left standing on College. I'm leaving nothing. Oh, I want concrete and neon. Some say that's why the tear is in this Native American's eye for what the Hollands did to College Avenue. And fortune never smiled on them again.